family G, the G comes after my great-great-aunt Pauline Gross, who in 1895 was a dressmaker in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And she happened to be doing some mending for a pathologist at the university there. And his name was Dr. Aldred Worthen, and she confessed to him one day that she was going to die early and that she knew exactly how she was going to die, and that was because so many people in her family had died from cancers at early ages. And she actually had been keeping track of that. She had a whole pedigree laid out and had, you know, we do our genealogy for fun, but she had been keeping track of all the cancers and the ages of onset and symptoms, and she basically handed it over to this doctor, and that began a study that has lasted to this day. So we are the longest, most studied cancer genealogy in the world. I don't remember it having a name back when I was really young, because it didn't actually. It wasn't called Lynch syndrome yet. But I was probably about 5 when I remember conversations about cancer. I used to hide under the kitchen table to listen to my mom and my grandmother and other relatives talk, to eavesdrop. And I can remember, you know, all kinds of conversations happening, but then conversations turning towards cancer and people in the family being quite ill, and just having that kind of be part of the language of the family, of the house. And in 2001, I started thinking about whether I wanted to do it or not, trying to see if I could grapple with the emotional implications if I was. I had an inkling that I probably was positive. There's all kinds of things that I can do to be extremely proactive. In fact, that's where knowing that you have the gene is a really amazing gift. As daunting as it can seem to undergo the testing and to find this out about yourself, that you have this elevated risk for certain kinds of cancers at an earlier than average age, it really is a gift to know, because you can undergo annual screenings. I undergo colonoscopy every year. I've gotten really good at it. It's been almost 2 decades worth. And when I got tested, by the way, I was cancer-free, and I still am cancer-free. I'm a previvor. There are gynecological cancers that are associated with Lynch syndrome, specifically ovarian and endometrial. So in my early 40s, I did make the choice to have a prophylactic hysterectomy. And that wasn't an easy choice to make, but it was the one thing that was going to guarantee that I wouldn't get those cancers. You know, this kind of diagnosis, whether it's Lynch syndrome or finding out you have a mutation for BRCA1 or 2, that it's not a death sentence, right? These cancers can be treated. Early detection is key, and that knowing that you're positive, while it is something that you have to work through emotionally, it really is a gift. If you look at my family's journey, you'll see that they worked for over a century to find some kind of way to have a clinical diagnosis, an answer to this mystery that had hounded them for so long. And all we had were stories. So the other part of this whole thing is that I'm encouraging people to hang on to story, because that is the thing that connects us all, that we share it with each other. And my great-great-grandmother used to say that all the flowers of all our tomorrows are in the seeds we plant today. Meaning you never know where your story is going to go, right? And that hopefully it could reach someone who needs to hear it. And that's really what I hope with this book.